my MTV. I'm savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get! Yes! What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay fucking down. I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. What's next? Give me something else. What can't you do? I can do it. I can do anything.
Hey, and we are live with the Talk Your Talk Show, episode 13. Welcome, everybody. I'm your boy, Eric Holmes, host of the Talk Your Talk Show and the Rick T podcast. Man, we got a show lined up for you guys today, man. So joining me first, man, our UFC analyst slash manager, Justin Sanchez. Welcome aboard, brother. Glad to have you, man. How you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm excited for tonight. Let's get it started.
Bro, I'm so excited, bro. Do you realize who we have on tonight? Seriously?
I do, man. I do. I mean, I'm excited to get to know the guy more. Trust me. But I'm really excited, and I can't wait for the people to find out who we got on. Let's get it started.
Exactly, man. Joining us now, this guy is the co-founder and chief gaming officer of the Fan Control Football League. This is Mr. Patrick Dees. How you doing, Patrick?
What it do, gentlemen? How are you? Man, that intro pumps me up. I was ready to go before, but that fired me up. Let's do this thing.
That's the whole purpose of the intro, man. We got to get the blood flowing,
yes.
Get everyone ready to hear the news, hear the topics, hear the Talk Your Talk show. But, man, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Finally got to have you. I know you're really, really busy, man, so it's really difficult sneaking in your schedule. But I'm glad me and Justin can finally do it, brother.
I'm so glad to be here, man. I know it has been a minute in coming. It's a matter of coordinating times, but we're just really head down. Like we finished season one, and we're obviously we weren't nearly satisfied with what we did season one, so we've got a really ambitious season two, and so we went immediately to work. And so yeah, it's been a little bit crazy, but I'm glad we're connected and hope to do a lot more in the future.
Oh, good, man. And I know myself, along with Justin and a lot of other people around the world, are excited for the Fan Control Football season 2.0. So, Justin, man, I'll let you get this interview started underway, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, Patrick, we know a little bit about you from the FCF, but go ahead and tell us how you got started in your career and some milestones and just how you got started in this field.
Yeah, so I kind of Forrest Gumped my way into all this, but serial entrepreneur. So I was back 21. I put $30,000 worth of phones on a credit card, and I opened a kiosk in a mall, and I started selling cell phones. Right place, right time. It sold well. I always enjoyed what I was doing. But how we started this thing in particular, I'd been part of a couple of startups, obviously had some exits, and was part of a venture-backed startup with my partner here, Saurabh Faruti, who was our CEO. And we had built the Kelly Blue Book of cell phones. When you trade in your phone, they give you a price for it. We built a platform, an algorithm that would determine what its worth was in secondary markets all over the world. And we had this opportunity where we knew an exit was coming, and we were going to be leaving the business. And so we had a year's head start on dude, what's that thing we're going to do next? What's that thing we're going to do next? And we couldn't. I mean, I don't know. You guys have probably been in that situation. When you can do anything, what do you do? It's everybody says chase your dreams. Well, what does that even mean? Do something you're passionate about. But there's always this danger. I'm a big video game nerd. The idea about getting into video games, honestly, I was trepidatious about it because if it becomes your career, then it's no longer a hobby. So we were just trying to figure out what we were doing. And so Saurabh is, I know you guys know these guys, but those Cowboys fans that are the worst Cowboys fans that talk Cowboys all you and Saurabh would get along perfectly. So he had a huge in this startup. He had a huge fat head. He was the big Dallas the helmet, and so I found myself while we were working together. I would start watching Cowboys games, so I knew how my Monday would go. Right? Because if they lost, I knew my Monday was going to be shitty. Can I say shitty? Can I swear on the show?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we'll just make sure. I've been on several lately. They're like, whoa, not so much. And I'm a big video game nerd, right? So I actually learned the rules of football by playing Madden. My old man is like probably the best dad in the Northern Hemisphere. But he, like you guys and probably a lot of people, you learn sports through, your parents, through hanging out with your dad or your mom or whomever is in your family or your older brother. I'm the oldest in my family, and my dad wasn't into sports. He was like in high school, he was like a vocal ensemble guy, like a drama guy. And so he didn't teach me how football works, so I learned it through playing video games. And so when I was a kid, we'd still watch the NFL, and I would sit on the couch and I would explain to him that this is a 4-3 defense, and my dad would pretend to give a shit, and he just wanted to hang out with his kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, the idea of real-time play calling has always been coupled with my sports experience. And so anyway, we tried to think what we were going to do. We did know we wanted to get into sports. Sor kept telling me he was going to buy the Cowboys. There's two problems with that. One, the exit was not going to nearly be big enough to buy the Cowboys, but also Jerry Jones is going to outlive the three of us on this call right now, man. He's going to live till he's 140 years old.
Exactly my point. He's never getting rid of that team.
No, not a chance. So we exited the business, and we actually bought a team in the AFL. Do you guys remember the Arena Football League?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So we bought it with the Las Vegas Outlaws, which was a team in the Arena Football League with Vince Neil from Motley Crue. And we with the goal, it was kind of a nebulous goal. We're like, look, we're technology guys. We want to bring more technology to sports. From an ownership perspective, we think we can do it. So we bought into that team, and we became the managing partners. And so, we went to Vegas, and we're a little bit naive, man. You think like we'd run a lot of small businesses, and we went into this thinking, well, yeah, we know small business. We can figure this out. And sports is just this entirely different animal, right? Like it's all these things that you don't know yet. And so it was a tremendous learning experience, most of which that Vince Neil is a terrible human being. If you're watching at home, go Google Vince Neil national anthem. Because it is he went from blackout drunk to trying to sing the national anthem in about 2 minutes. It is unbelievable. And you watch the video and I'm like 2 feet out of frame just going, oh Jesus Christ. So anyway, fast forward a little bit, we didn't get a lot done from a technology perspective. It was one season, but what we did learn was how fundamentally broken that league is, and people like, and no shade, but like how the XFL and the AAF, like these leagues, their model, they're trying to be the NFL but smaller, and it's not sustainable. And so we learned the business side of it a lot, and then we thought, look, we came up with this idea for fan control football. We did it with we had a proof of concept team in the IFL, which is the Indoor Football League, and we picked up 2 other partners, Grant Cohen, who had wanted to do this for years with baseball, and then the commissioner, Ray Austin, who played 6 years in the NFL, had been looking to get into technology, was a really good fit for what we were doing. And our hypothesis was that if you put fans in a position to be successful, that they will be. That fan IQ about football is higher than it's ever been. Between the advent of Madden and fantasy, people know the game of football like they don't know anything else. And so our hypothesis was let's let them run a team in the IFL. So we started with IFL and said, look, fans can vote on everything. They're going to vote on where we play, then the name of the team, then the logo, the mascot, the cheerleaders. Then we live streamed the head coaches interviews. They chose our coaches. And it was an awesome experience, man. They ended up being in Salt Lake City. We were almost named the Teamy McTeam Face, which would have been unbelievable.
Oh,
we were almost named in Utah. We were almost named the Stormin' Mormons, which I wish I were wearing Stormin' Mormon gear right now. It lost last second. There was a last second push. We were named the Screaming Eagles. I have a hat right here. The Screaming Eagles of Salt Lake. And then they voted on our team, colors, mascot, cheerleaders, all of those things. And then we played the whole season a little bit differently than we did with FCF, but allowed fans to call plays. And it looked like, did you guys play Tecmo Bowl?
Yeah.
Do you remember the 4 plays that you get to choose? And Bo Jackson was always like a cheat code. So yeah, that's how we did it there. And I got to tell you, these teams in the IFL, they averaged about 1,000 viewers per game online, and they were that model was about putting butts in seats and selling those butts beers and hot dogs.
Yeah.
But we were averaging several 100,000 people watching those games for an ostensibly a minor league team in Utah. 100 different countries were calling plays with it, and so we realized, look, people want this, right? Like you can generate fandom that doesn't have to be geographical. It doesn't have to be generational. You can start with a new IP and let fans get into it. So you fast forward to fan control football, and we basically just said, look, how do we reinvent football for the digital age? Like there's an opportunity, right? Like if you invented football right now, you wouldn't it would look a little bit like what we put forward in actual football. Like games would be shorter, they'd be an hour and a half. You'd have this lean forward experience. There'd be no kicking. Because kicking, nobody in the history of football went, fuck yeah, the kickers are on the field. Nobody's ever said that.
In here. The team doesn't feel right without the kicker. Let's get a kicker on the field.
Exactly. So it was just trying to reinvent football for the digital age and really let fans, not only redefine the relationship between players and fans, but really let fans drive it, both from a rule set perspective, let them determine the action on the field, and then even above and beyond, participate from an ownership perspective and watch as these team valuations. You look at the MLS. Teams started at $10-15 million. One just sold this past week for $400 million. If you had bought in early on this, there is a path to a lot of value with these. And so fans should participate in that. So we open them up to let fans purchase some equity. And anyway, it's a little bit about how we got here. You talked about origins. We tried a lot of different things. It was a lot of startups, but we, it's been an evolution, but we've been at it for, 6-7 years now. And basically the FCF was kind of the result of all of that.
I love it, man. And I love that answer. I love how you started off at a 21-year-old kid trying to do something.
Awesome.
And 7 years later, you ended up right where you're at. And it's something that you don't regret. You love doing. You got your friends with you, your buddies with you alongside. And 100%. It's helping a lot of people out through, I would say, I could say the end of the pandemic, but through a COVID year. Fan control football is literally like what you need, man. And that kind of brings me to my next question, Patrick. You guys starting off in a pandemic, you guys had to go to the bubble and stuff like that. Obviously you're no player, but my question is, did you have the same restrictions in the bubble and stuff like that as players, or were you just kind of doing your own thing and just being safe?
So really different. So man, we had an epidemiologist on staff. Our football operations team was incredible. They built kind of a 2-tiered bubble system. So actually, this is the fathead that was in the weight room. I just got it and just got it framed. We took over a hotel and we had everybody sign it. So that's going up on my wall tomorrow. That bubble, and that was 5-day quarantine minimum, 7-day quarantine, 7-day quarantine before you get in. Incredibly strict bubble, no contact with the outside world. We were, because I went back and forth between LA and Atlanta, we inside the arena, I still couldn't get inside the player bubble. I had to stay a far way away where I was in the booth for a lot of it. It was on the other side of the stadium. So they had their own entrance. We had our own entrance. I didn't physically touch or high five a player through the whole season because it wasn't part of COVID protocol. So we were really strict about it, and I'm so glad we were, because that's the one thing that could have really shut us down. If we had an outbreak of COVID, that would have been it, and then there would have never been more fan control football, right? That was our one shot to prove to the world what we were doing, and I think there was a good response to it. So yeah, we took it really seriously. And I was, we got to, even just to get into the stadium, we got tested. I think I was tested 42 times in 6 weeks or some nonsense. It's a lot. So,
oh yeah, man. And Tony Cave, TK2296 said the cell phone sales environment is not easy. I know my man Tony had a short little stint at Sprint or T-Mobile or whatever it was. So I know he did 100%. Matthew Fox 64. I was in the MLB bubble. I feel you. He is an MLB content creator, so he has to deal with all the MLB's
that's cool.
Bubble stuff and stuff like that. And then our man Jigga Man Porto, he said Dees.
Jigga, what's up, brother? Good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Of course, man. Justin, what else you got from my man Patrick?
Yeah, man. So I really applaud you guys for how you guys handled the COVID protocols. You can kind of tell, you know what I mean? It was players were with players, staff is with staff. And I really applaud you guys for doing that, because it really kept us intrigued, being in the pandemic, in quarantine, needing something to watch. We were like, fan control football. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, this is where it's at. So, which brings me to my next thing. You being a serial entrepreneur, what kind of, more business side of things do you kind of see coming into fan control football, whether it be video games? I know you guys are talking another sport coming in.
Yeah, I think our parent company is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. So the idea was we had a proof of concept team with the Screaming Eagles. That was our proof of concept league, and I think the idea would be that we look at other sports. And so we're gonna get that right. We're not gonna rush into that, but that's very much on our radar. We've got some really cool ideas for a ton of different sports. But what we're committed to is not detracting from our focus to football, because this is our core and what we really need to get right for seasons 2, 3, and 4. And that was the proof of concept league, right? So we raised some capital to be able to play that one. We shot our entire capital raised into one season of football. We had to make it as cool as we could do, and we put on that season of football for a tenth of what the AAF did, right? So one, or a 20th. I mean, we really kept costs low, but try to keep production value high. And I think what you'll see coming into season 2, we talk about what we're doing in the next kind of iteration of it. It's going to feel a lot more Madden-y. So we're investing very heavily in the Unreal Engine. So we're going to map the routes onto the field. This is not a promise, but this is things that we're exploring. But I want to, I don't think we're breaking any NDAs saying like we're in talks with machine learning companies that can track a player. So it'll say, hey, that's Jerdy, and you can click him on the field, and it'll pull down his stats in real time, and it'll be like
a stat generator type thing.
Yeah, totally. And you like literally, but we can link off to his social. You can be like, dude, I'm going to follow that guy on social. I'm going to follow him on Twitch. I know that he's got 200 yards in the air and 62 yards on the ground. And the other thing that we're doing a lot of cool stuff with fans. So we're building a fan squad element, so you can squad up with your fans. You guys will get a bonus for squatting up and having your kind of own crew. And it's gonna feel a lot more video gamey. So you guys will have the opportunity to track your stats. So not just fan IQ, you're not just rewarded for how well you call plays. Like you'll also know how many yards in the air you have on the ground, how many yards you have in the air. It'll track your stats like you're a player, which I'm super excited about, because if you play the tapes forward 3 years, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is, and we're integrating the stats into the broadcast, by the way. So you'll see around the regular, you'll see the highest rated fans and not just players based on fan stats. And then if you play the tapes forward 3 years, like how cool will it be where teams are not only jockeying for different players, but they're picking up the phone and being like, yo, I need Jigga. Like that guy's number one on the list. I'm recruiting this fan because he's that badass. Like I think that we're redefining what that could look like. And again, because I mean, if you think about it, fans are determining the strategy on the field. They're, almost as important as the athletes executing it. So I think 100%. We're going to redefine that paradigm, and I think what you'll see out of this in 3 or 4 years, it's going to be very different from traditional sports.
See, and I can agree with Jigga Man 100%, blowing my mind right now. And that was my next question. Kind of, I seen how later in the season, last year in season 1.0, it was like when there was challenges that need to be made or there was calls that weren't called, you guys tossed it to the fans and said, was that a call or was that in or was that not? I love that. I loved how throughout the year it just kept getting better and better week by week. And that was my next question. It's kind of like, what other cool things do you guys have coming on? But you answered that question perfectly. You guys are working with, the generator is going to pop down the stats. And I love that it's kind of given – and the whole moral of fan control football is like your guys' slogan is power to the fans. I feel nothing but power to the fans, because it's like if we're going for this player – and this whole team is calling me like, yo, I need you to coach me. I want you and your boys on my team. Mm-hmm. That's nothing but power to the fans, man. So I love that idea. I love where you guys are headed with it. And I love that you're thinking a little bit in the future to kind of see how it's going to affect you positively or negatively. You know what I'm saying?
I really do. And I think, again, you're right. Power to the fans from like not only a leading a team perspective, but also, you talk about, they're huge valuations in sports teams, right? Like, again, we talked about the MLS selling for $400 million. That league's only been around a few years, right? So I think the idea is fans investing, they're able to take advantage of this, because right now it's just a few dudes who own a few teams, right? And I think that we're really about like authentically democratizing kind of that sports, the upside, not only the fandom, but also, you should benefit from your fandom, right? So
yeah, 100%. And that kind of brings me into my one of my next questions is, obviously, like I was saying in my last question, the pandemic is kind of coming to an end. It's not as harsh kind of going into season 2.0 as when you guys started in season 1.0, like dead ass in the middle of it, you know what I mean? And I've been hearing rumors and stuff going on that you guys might even have a team out of state, you know what I mean? Maybe a team out of city, out of state, something like that. You don't have to just blow open season 2, but kind of tell us something a little new about season 2 that might, or maybe not everyone knows about, or something new that's coming.
Yeah, I think the idea has always been that the venue rotates, right? We're pretty obtusely focused on the digital fan, and so when the pandemic opens up, we'll have fan experiences live. A lot of those I'm pretty committed to having only be winnable, right? So you're participating. It's not a pay to win thing, but if you're engaged in the league, then you can come to a games, things like that. So we'll have experiences live. But it doesn't really matter where we play, dude. We played in Atlanta this past season. We could play. We could be playing in the middle of nowhere, Idaho, right? What's important to me is that actual stage, and then we can have like bleeding edge technology there. So the idea has always been that we'll rotate where we play, and then the other thing that we're committed to, and we're kind of in the middle of a postmortem about how much of this worked and how much it didn't. We created 7 studio shows around the league to give fans an opportunity to meet these guys off the field. I think a lot of lessons learned about that, but I'm still, what I am committed to was the intention there. Like, I want to create content around the league so you get to know these guys off the field. Are they high caliber people? Like, are they shit talkers? Like, do you relate to them? And so I think when we do that and we create the shoulder content around the league, I think it'd be cool if it were like, if you excuse the analogy, but like the Desperate Housewives model, like Desperate Housewives, what is it? Yeah, Desperate Housewives of like New York or New Jersey. It's always the same show, but the flavor's different based on where you are. Like FCF Atlanta is going to look a lot different than FCF Vegas or a lot different than FCF Miami. And so we're going to, have that content around the league be flavored by where we are.
See, and I love that too. And sorry to interrupt you, Justin.
No.
I love what you're saying. But that exactly what you're saying makes perfect sense, because it's like you said, we had multiple rooms for every fan and every, owner to get to know Jurdy and to get to know Galloway and stuff like that. But me and Justin actually had those players on this show personally and kind of talked to them in a different light and got like a different perspective of them.
Yeah.
And it showed a lot of our fans and a lot of people who didn't get to see the fan control football interviews and stuff. It showed them a different side of them, but still like that cool football player side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
totally.
I understand you 100% by kind of trying to show these players in different lights. But Justin, go ahead, man.
Patrick, you got time for some
Of course, yeah, man. I got a little bit, so let's keep talking. This is great.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, so just touching on a guy like Travis Donovan who made it to the NFL actually.
Hell yeah.
Lots of him,
Yeah. Talk to him today.
So Trav Daddy, whenever he came on the show, he was real like stand-up individual, and a lot of people that we did have on the show were the same way, Jurdy, LaMarcus Carradine, Cecil Cherry, like a lot of these people, have the talent, but they don't have maybe the exposure that they need. And that's one thing I think Fan Control Football does is give them really good exposure. So you guys do a great job at that. Being with that said, when you're saying you're dropping the Twitter handles, am I lagging out?
A little bit.
You're okay.
All right,
you're good.
sorry about that.
Oh,
so
good.
When you're dropping the Twitter handles and stuff like that, do you think that it's a good idea to maybe create another like co-website just strictly, almost like an ESPN for fan controlled football, just strictly for all stats, and even the fan stats as well?
Yeah, we're going to get much better. So when you log into FCF.io coming into season 2, it's going to be personalized to you. So how it looked this time, you had your own login, you could check some things. It's going to be diametrically different. When you log in now, it'll be skinned for your team. There'll be all kinds of updates and stuff around the league. It'll show all of your stats personally. It'll show your clan and all your info. So it's going to be really personalized to the decisions that you've made around who you're supporting, who your favorite players are, what your drafts look like. So it'll look a little different. I don't think I think I'm going to split that question up. I don't think it's incumbent upon us to create an ESPN around the league. That has to feel organic, and there have been a couple like the FCNNs and those things, guys that are really trying to put that together. I think it's our job to do a really job of feeding them the stats and making that publicly available. So we're going to build a public API that allows fans to, fans individually, but also the news groups and stuff, to have easy access to that. But what I think the first part of that question was around the individuals. I think we did an okay job. It's always been our mission to give these guys a platform, and again, we're going to be a lot bigger into having those guys create content during season 2. The thing that I don't know that a lot of people know was, look, if you're going to create a whole league around where players get to know fans, the players have to be kick-ass guys. They can't just be incredible on the field. They have to be rad. You know what I mean? They have to have good origin stories. They have to be grind. They got to be honest. They got to be cool, guys that you want to get a beer with. And so we actually, one of the things that we did was we took a bunch of guys that could have played football the caliber that we wanted on the field, and we did a casting call. So we did another pass, and took the guys that we thought were the most interesting, that were like the most like Ocho, or that like the best guys, or had an origin story. And those are the guys that we selected. And so I talk a good game and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. That the difference is that Ray and team actually figured that shit out. Like I was like, look, that was important to me, and I asked them to get that done. And basically, and it was important to Ray too, but then they went out and Ray spent time with every one of these guys and said, hey, this is a guy that we want to get a beer with. This is a guy that's emblematic of the league we want to create. So it wasn't an accident that all these guys are awesome, because they were all handpicked to play in the league, and that's something we're going to continue to do, is find guys that can play, the right caliber of football on the field, but also are going to be awesome to interact with as a fan.
Awesome.
Yep. 100% understand that, man. Devin Murray said, I agree. You can be amazing players, but they need to be able to be personable with the fans, which is 100% true. And that's what Justin was saying, is like, that's one thing I noticed with every fan or every player that we had on this show, is they were good at talking to other people. Like I was sitting here, like after the interviews, I'm like, I wonder if they work on interviews or if they're just that cool.
Like I wanted to go hang out with them after, I'm like, man, like hit me up if you're ever
right.
I mean,
yeah, look at that. We literally was, with the instructions we gave the team, was like, we want to find people that like light up when a camera turns on, right? That they want to engage with fans and they want to create content, and we're just gonna only double and triple down on that as we grow the league and grow the number of teams. So I'm so glad you guys felt that way. That's so validating to me as a help co-create this business, is to hear that it actually resonated, because we thought they were awesome, but like it doesn't matter what we think, right? It matters what fans think. So thank you for taking a minute to tell me about it, because it's incredibly validating.
Of course, man. We want you to know how like incredibly awesome we think fan control football and everything you guys are doing with it, man. But I don't want to just give the credit all to you. My next question,
not at all.
I was gonna say my next question was literally about your man Ray Austin, man.
Yeah.
The commissioner of the Fan Control Football League, man. Love what he's doing. Love his personality on camera, off camera. Just seems like a really cool dude. What's one thing about him that you don't find in a lot of other people? You know what I'm saying? Because he seems like one of those guys that like. He could vibe with everybody, but just something is different about him that I just couldn't put my finger on, man. So just tell me something about him that just blows your mind and that just really helps with the business. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe that he broke all my ribs one time.
what?
Okay, I'll tell you that story, but that's not the real answer to that. Is Ray is incredible. Ray is a he's constantly learning in a way that is so refreshing to me. It's like actually inspiring. So Ray is not like, he's not spent a lot of time in a professional capacity, right? He grew up, an athlete at the highest level, dedicated his whole life to it, and then transitioned into acting and modeling. And this is, we're running a business. And so Ray is better. He's so good on his feet. He's so personable. He's so impossibly charismatic. He's so good when the camera turns on. But the other side of it that I don't think people see is that dude's grinding. He's trying to understand the business of this in a way that he attacks it like he did professional football. And I don't know. He is a truly rare breed. He's also just like one of the best guys. Like he's cool and everything. And there are a lot of people who I think are cool when the cameras come on and they're charismatic. But Ray'll break his back for you. You know what I mean? He is as loyal and as awesome as they come. I can't express enough about how much I love that man. He did break my ribs. This was a true story, and I'll tell it quickly. So early, I don't know, 2017, 2018, I guess. One of the things that Ray fucking hates, and if you have him on the show, you should probably talk to him about it. Let's set that up. I'll make sure you guys get in contact with him. We'll get him on the show.
Please do.
So Ray hates it when you touch his head. He's a bald dude, and bald dudes just hate getting their head rubbed. So I didn't know that. I've never touched his head. Like I never would. But apparently he told Grant Sora, the next person that does that's going to get punched. So you fast forward. We were out drinking one night, and Ray can drink like a champ. If you have a single, he's going to have a double. So if you've had 8, he's had 16. So we had been out for a while, been drinking a lot, and he was talking to me, and he's like, dude, I just love you. And I was like, I love you too, man. You're the best. And I grabbed him, but inadvertently touched his head while I was hugging him. I'm like, you're awesome. And he goes, oh, that's it, man. I got to hit you, Dees. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's all, no, man, I told you guys. I told you. And I was like, I had no idea what he was talking about. So I was like, all right. So I feel like, okay, he's going to just pull the punch. And I stand there. He's like, I just ready. And he punched me in the ribs, and it knocked me off my feet, physically left the ground. And I had been, I've been inebriated enough to feel like I could talk some smack. Like I was like, "Oh, you hit like a girl, man. That was nothing." And then a few hours later, I was like, "Oh my god, like I can't breathe." I woke up with 3 broken ribs. I had to go to the hospital the next morning. They didn't do anything. You don't do anything for a broken rib. All they do is wrap you and you go your way.
Man, what a crazy story, man. Man, we had a pleasure to talk to you. Seems like you're surrounded around some great people, some fun people, maybe some people who break your ribs.
Yeah, good folks.
But literally some masterminds and some people who are dedicated to the business, and power to the fans, man. You guys have really been showing it.
Thanks, man. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah,
who's KSH 97? They said Dees, and I'm just saying, what's up? What's going on?
Casher 97, man.
Sure that's Catman from Jigga and the Gang.
Oh, nice.
Got you. Okay. I was gonna say
such good people. That show is fantastic.
Yeah,
somebody else asked about the crazy coach.
Yeah, Tony Cave. He has a question that he wants to know the answer to. He said, "Whose idea was it for the crazy or coach's crazy pants?" I need to know because it was awesome.
Dude, Coach Jenks is just that dude. Like that's nothing we coached. Like no, he just loves that. We didn't buy those for him. He just had them. He dresses that way. Like, and so we spent a lot of. Obviously, he's such a character. We want to highlight characters in the league, but he's the type of dude. He'll send you an email, and in the email he will attach a Word document, and then put the body of the email in the Word document, and then put letterhead on the top of it, which is just a series of It's a collage of him in different coaching poses. Like
that kills me.
It's unbelievable. But a mastermind. Like so, yeah. Nobody's idea. That just dresses that way. All we did was decided to highlight it.
He literally every time he used to come down that ramp and go.
Yeah, look for more of that next season for sure.
I would die at that, bro. I love it. I'm definitely going to be at a fan control football game in person to get that on camera when it all opens back up, of course. But, man, like Justin said, Patrick, we appreciate you so much for coming on the Talk Your Talk show, man.
Thanks for having me.
And, yeah, of course, man. It's been a while trying, but, man, it was full worth the wait.
Well, let's do it again for sure. And then what I'll do is off air, let's sync you up. We'll get Ray on the show too. But thanks guys for having me. It was fantastic. I'll come back anytime. So thank you guys.
Perfect, man. Patrick Dees, everybody, the co-founder and chief gaming officer
of the
Control Football.
Patrick Dees, everybody.
Patrick Dees, everybody, man. That is one hell of a dude. That is one stand-up guy. Easily mastermind. When you talk about entrepreneurs that started from the bottom and, made it. Started from the bottom, now we're here. That's Patrick Dees. Drake didn't write that song. Patrick Dees did, man. So we're going to get to a quick commercial break, man. But on the other side of the commercial break, we are going to have our NBA analyst, Tony Cave, come on and talk about this NBA playoff series. And then moving on to a little bit of NFL talk, man. So enjoy this quick commercial break. And then when we get back, let's get it popping, man. Appreciate you guys. Joining us now, the RTP Podcast NBA Analyst. The turn up don't stop when he comes on. I just want to introduce him so he can join it. Tony Cave, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
You know, that whole interview, Tony, you know exactly what I'm saying. But I felt like I was on the phone with some money. Talking to Patrick Dees made me feel like I was on the phone with some money. You know what I'm saying? Man, loves having him on. Patrick Dees is that freaking dude, man. But we are back with the Talk Your Talk Show episode 12, I believe. 12. 13. Jesus Christ. Yeah, literally right behind him, episode 13. Sorry. I feel like I need to go to a new season.
Just take a break, man. That was a great interview. We had literally a mastermind. Like, talking to people like that just brings you to a different level because it gets your energy going, gets you like thinking like, dang, like, you know, it's got me writing my grocery list different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna start doing stuff different just so, you know, we can achieve goals like that. Like, that was a lot of fun.
You know, and I want to get to the chat real quick because chat was going stupid and it's still going crazy. Shout out to Treyway. Don't know who you are, but we love having new viewers here at the RTP Podcast and the Talk Your Talk Show. So Treyway, shout out to you, brother. Cheer one, cheer one, cheer one, cheer one, cheer one. And he was saying cheer 20 earlier. He was saying cheer 20. I don't know what that meant. Shout out to my boy Jigga Man. Oh, sorry. I was like, what? Shout out to Jigga Man Porto. Showing up some love. Dude, and shout out to Lil J6. Yeah, how you doing? Lil J6, he's cool as fuck. Believe me, we know, man. Loved having him on. Treyway said hashtag Jigga and Frankie. Hashtag Jigga and Frankie. The good part saying that. Everyone's just hashtagging Jigga and Frankie, man. We're definitely having them back on. Shout out to my boy Angel. Broken ribs ain't no joke. Shout out to Matthew Faraci with the Jordans. God, you know, I can't forget that, man. You know, I always got to show the Jays when someone pops the Jays up on the screen. And then shout out to my boy. Where's he at right now? Where's he at? I know he's in here. Shout out Big Blue Jay, man. Big Blue Jay 92. Can't wait for season 2. I felt like the way that interview went, we might be somewhere near the Atlanta area during season 2. I don't know.
Don't count your eggs for the
No.
What you got for us on this NBA?
We're not counting on it, but what we're saying, we're not counting on being there, but what we're saying is we're definitely going to check the weather to see what kind of clothes we need to bring. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Tony is understanding what I'm saying. Do you want to go there in shorts and it's raining, Justin? Jesus.
Is Kawhi playing or not?
Shout out Devin Murray 99. Well, love watching your channel, man. And I do want to go ahead and put this out here because this is my guy that commented, Devin Murray 1999. He is one of our few subscribers on this channel. So let's give Devin Murray a great round of applause. Devin Murray, shout out to you, my boy, Jigga Man Porto. Love seeing him. Tony! How you doing?
Tony.
He's on Tony.
I got a mic. I'm a professional now.
Frankie's just chilling. Frankie, you know Frankie's hype after that interview. You know,
Frankie's checking. But man, let's move on. Tony, take it away with the NBA topics, man. I'm ready to get into it, bro. Unless you want me to do it, I'll go ahead and take it away.
Nope, I got it. Thanks, though.
Perfect.
First of all, I don't know how the hell I'm going to follow that up. That was a great interview. Good job to you guys. That guy's a pretty stand-up guy. He's a good guy to talk to. Next time I might have to pop in there and ask some questions.
Definitely, man. And hold on. Shout out to you, Tony. Look at the mic. Do you guys hear this, man? Tony, go ahead and give us a nice. That was money. That sounded perfect. Man, go crazy, Tony. Take it away.
All right, let's get into it. So we're going to start with some breaking news that happened today. First off, it's nothing crazy. We all kind of knew this was going to happen, but Steve Van Gundy is no longer the coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. Are we shocked by that?
No, but just read that comment real quick. I'm going to hop right back on it, but I just want to read the comment.
Regardless, we will all be outside Atlanta together, making amazing content together. I like it. An outside vlog with the RTP Podcast crew and Jigga and Frankie.
Fan-controlled tailgate.
Between 2 urns, baby. Let's get it. But continue on. You said your boy right here?
Yeah, that guy. The one that looks like he's straight out of a Marvel movie. He's no longer with New Orleans Pelicans.
So he got released as the coach.
After 1 year.
Yes. After 1 year, yes.
They said, you don't know how to use Zion.
Nope.
exactly
Not
my
at all.
point. That's the one thing he had to do right was just like, develop him somewhat.
Just a little. And he didn't do it. So we're not going to spend too much time on that because we kind of already all saw it coming.
Yeah.
Second, I think I need to apologize because I said Anthony Edwards was going to win Rookie of the Year. But Eric, do you want to let everybody know who it was?
My man, LaMelo Ball, Lithuania, LA, Chino Hills, LaMelo Ball. Me and Jello called it from day one, man. There's nothing wrong with it. There was only 2 choices that it really could have been, but 50-50 chance.
I wouldn't have been mad either way. I just thought when LaMelo went down and was out for a couple weeks that he wasn't going to win it. I thought Anthony Edwards was going to take the cake.
He was playing like a baller when he was gone too, so that could have went either way, and I would have been all right with this. So
he's on a poster on some kid's wall for sure.
On my wall. Well, yeah, I got a poster of his ass. No kid, grown man.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We all knew that was going to happen, except for me. I doubted it. I apologize. So breaking news, Chris Paul has entered the NBA's health and safety protocol for hugging his family after the last game. So he did not test positive for COVID-19. He broke protocol by jumping into the stands and giving his family a hug.
So really?
Justin, I'm going to swing this to you first. Okay. What do you think about that? The guy is vaccinated.
Okay, so that's what I think. I get that he broke the protocol. If he's vaccinated, his family's vaccinated, what does that mean for the future for him? Is he allowed to continue to play? Does he have to sit out a couple games so he gets that clearance? Because if he's vaccinated, there should be no talk about it, period, right?
So I don't mean to interrupt, but what I was hearing is, yes, you're right, Tony. He is vaccinated, and I think that might be under a HIPAA law that wasn't supposed to be said. Whoever brought it out, not us. We're just repeating what we heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's under a HIPAA law where people were not even supposed to know that unless he came out and said it. But I guess now that it is proven that he is vaccinated, usually the normal quarantine having COVID is like 14 to 21 days in the NBA. I guess he might go from 7 to 10 now. Instead of 14 to 21, it might go from 7 to 10.
Okay.
7 to 10 days. And that gives just about enough time for what series to finish up? Utah series to finish up?
So that means Utah rolls them over.
I think this is just to get people to put their money in the wrong place, to be honest with you.
Matt said, bro, what? You live with them?
Me too. Yeah, it's because there's so many gray areas with everything going on, but it just doesn't make sense to take out, a Chris Paul of somebody who's literally about to take the Phoenix Suns to the championship. And, he's been with so many dang teams. I remember him on the Pacers. Okay, so there we go. Can you pop that back up, please, Eric?
Yeah, of course.
There's no set time for a return, but if the Clippers and Jazz go to Game 7, he has a chance to be back. Right, I get it. And, Clippers are no joke. I get it. But that's it's kind of this – there's a lot of gray area, and I don't necessarily agree with it. You know what I mean? I get it if he gets in a scuffle in the stands – it's all right, make him sit out, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, if we have another Malice in the Palace incident, then we can talk about this, but we don't have that type of incident.
Turn the camera off at that point, just to protect the ball. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, videotaping him going in his pants, so Karen's all over the world. He needs to be vaccinated and freaking quarantined. That's not what we need. That's not what we need, Rick.
Yeah, 100% agree.
The reason that was so funny to me, Tony, is because you were lagging a little bit, so all I heard was quarantine. That had me dead for a second, bro. But
I'm trying my best over here. I got all this new equipment, and I'm still lagging.
I am gonna be completely 100% honest, though. That mic sounds fucking good. That mic sounds really fucking good.
Thank you.
Just you saying your opinion makes me want to listen to you more. It just does, man. It's just
the fact that I have a mic.
Yep.
Literally.
All right, but let's Eric, hold on, I want to get your opinion on that real quick.
Let me read chat real quick. Devin Murray said that's one of the dumbest things I've heard. And then my boy Angel came back and said, honestly, this was handled wrong. Trey was straight spitting on LeBron, or straight spit on. Sorry about that. LeBron was out partying. Something's up. They don't want these players to be great. With Kawhi out, do you think the Clippers can win the series? And that's actually our next topic. Let me answer this real quick, and then we'll move on to it. Honestly, Tony, I'm 100% on board with what I feel like everyone is saying. There's something wrong with this. there is something completely wrong with this where LeBron can go out with Drake and Lil Baby or whoever it is to a liquor promotion.
Right before a game, let's say.
Yeah,
The
right
day
before
of
a
a game.
game.
The
And then
day
still
of a
play the game. They didn't even suspend him or nothing. But Chris Paul hugs his family, who I would like to say Matt Faraci literally said it. He lives with them. Like, he could go home and hug them, and they just don't know about it. Like, I'm confused about that. Something is weird about this. I think it's a little bit of NBA. I don't want to say them defending LeBron, but like the way things are pointing out, it's like LeBron doesn't get suspended, comes back, still plays. Chris Paul beats him. And now look at all the stuff that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from. I think it's more of a rig to put people's money in the wrong place. But that could just be me. That could just be me as a sports bettor. You know, I'm throwing bets every day.
That's smart.
So they want to exactly. They want to see them put their money on Utah, and I'll explain why I said that here right now. Going into our next topic. Our next topic is Kawhi Leonard is officially out for Game 5.
The image I use, it's funny because he hurt his knee. He has a sprained knee, but this is the image I use just to show how kind of like a pussy he is.
Oh, come on now.
Hang on. It's a sprained knee.
Kawhi's the least.
I ain't no Kawhi fan, man.
Kawhi's the least pussy out of all the stars. I'm telling you.
I can't get behind that one. I like the picture. It's funny.
Jokic.
All right. So, to answer the question that was asked in chat, can you go ahead and pull that back up for me?
Yes. Sorry. With Kawhi out, do you think the Clippers can win the series?
Yes, if he can return for Game 6. If he's out for Game 6, it's a wrap.
I'll bring that question up in a second because Tony, you might make Tony start crying.
No, go ahead and bring it up. Let's talk about it.
Let's get a quick little vote then. The Clippers win without Kawhi, Justin?
Game 5 or the series?
Game 5. The Clippers win Game 5 without Kawhi.
No.
Because if they lose Game 5, what would it be? 3-3?
Yeah. No, it's 2-2 right now, isn't it?
I think
it'd be 3-2.
Clippers are up 3-2 right now. So
nope, it's tied. It's 2-2.
Justin, you're right. You're right.
So Jazz will go up 3-2. And then Kawhi will be back, and then it'll be 3-3, and it's going to be the most exciting series of the NBA playoffs.
Wow, Tony?
That's a good take. But Game 5 goes to Game 5 did not. Game 5. Sorry, I had a stroke. Bear with me. Let's get back on track. Game 5 does not go to the Clippers.
Game 5.
I'm willing to put money. I'm willing to put money on that with you two right now.
Do I want to take Paul George? Is playoff P a thing?
You tell me, because I don't think so.
Okay, well then give me half a second to look it up. Give me half a second, literally.
All right.
How much you want to bet on? What you want to bet on this?
Friendly little $10. That's it.
Friendly little $10. I like that bet. If I'm looking at last game, Clippers and Jazz game, Clippers won 118-104. But if I'm looking at it, Paul George, 40 minutes, 31 points. I could put some money on that.
Look at the game before that.
I hate the Clippers, though. I'm not an LA fan at all.
He's inconsistent. I don't know what his exact stats are for this series. I'll give you that. I have not had a chance to look at
the game before that, 37 minutes, 31 points. That's 2 games with 31 points.
31 on the dot. Okay, that's a bet on that part. I say go ahead and take it. You got defensive player of the year and sixth man of the year going up against Paul George, though.
I know. That's why I'm worried. Rudy Gobert is like one of my favorite players in the league right now. Real talk.
And he's putting up 31 points with Kawhi being another threat for the defense to guard.
Kawhi putting up 34. Yeah, Kawhi's putting up 34 and 31 in 2 games. So
yeah, and now the defense is going to be tighter on Paul George, in my opinion.
I'm going to ask chat right now if I should take this dub. Go ahead. If I should take this bet, go ahead and drop W's in the chat. If you don't think I should take this bet, drop an L. So if you think I'm going to win this and I should take it, drop a W. If you think I should just skim past it, drop an L. I really want to know. Jesus, that's jacked up.
L. Yeah.
L. Stay away from it, buddy. Stay away from it. You're going to put money in on pandemic or on pandemic. That's what we're calling him now. I thought it was playoff
Yes.
Paul George.
No, that's why I said I don't think so. I wasn't going to tell you until you took the bet, but he exposed it for me.
Yeah, I'm not taking that bet. That was a close one. No, I'm not going to take it. Appreciate
I
you,
tried
though.
to get you. I'm letting you guys know right now that Jazz take game 5.
Okay. Here we go. This is the comment that I wanted to pop up. This is the past, but do you think my guy Jokic could have or should have got ejected in game 4?
No, I think it should have been a flagrant 1, in my opinion. He did cock back. He did make contact. But, I mean, I don't know if anybody in chat saw the Stephen A. Smith going crazy on this on his show.
Nose.
Yeah, swiped his nose.
Hard. I mean, that's probably a big-ass hand, but just a little nose swipe. I mean, it's like, all right, but being a wrestler, a crossface hurts like a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
Crossface.
And I get it. I get it. But you don't suspend, you don't eject the MVP in an elimination game. I don't care if it's game 4, game 5, 6, or 7.
You know, I'm calling horse shit here. I'm calling horse shit, and we knew we'd get to this point, damn it. I knew it. I knew this is why I didn't want to bring it up. Jokic deserved to be ejected. I texted you when it happened, Tony, and I said he didn't hit him, but what the hell is he doing swinging at a player in the 3rd quarter? This
okay,
didn't
but
need
look
to
at
be
his
done.
history.
I don't care if Jokic's brothers were in the
history.
stands. I'm putting it on the big screen. I'm hot. This Jokic, I don't care who it is. We just talked about how they should have suspended LeBron for going to the liquor company. Now it's we shouldn't eject the MVP. I don't give a damn who it is. He needs to get ejected. You don't swing in basketball. Flagrant 2. Great calls, ref.
He was going for the
Why
ball.
didn't Ben Simmons? Why didn't Ben Simmons get ejected in the very next game?
I didn't see that.
Okay, well, it's almost the same situation. Being violent and swinging around, swinging his elbows, driving the lane.
You want to talk violence? Let's talk about his goddamn brothers in the goddamn crowd. Let's talk about violence.
Okay, well, that's my next topic.
They were about to rip Devin Booker's nuts off in front of the whole fans. Devin Booker literally was shaking walking across the court.
Relax.
No,
relax.
No, these guys
Hey,
Jokic's brother has a neck tattoo, bro.
Relax.
A back of the neck tattoo.
I know, and I'm about to tell you what he allegedly said. Will you listen to me?
Please tell me.
All right, so in Serbian, let me ask Justin. Justin, what do you think that his brother said in Serbian?
Okay, so say it again in Serbia. What do you think he does?
Jokic's brother said something in Serbian to Booker.
All right. Yeah, I think you really want me to say. I think he said, Booker, you're no 3-point shooting ass. You want to fucking drive to the goal and then you want to cry about your buddy getting swiped. No swipe. Get your little ass off the court. I'll literally break you over my Serbian knee. That's what he said in Serbian.
Nikola, you kill him or I kill him. You kill him or I will. You kill first or I kill first. Which one?
All right, so let me tell you what was allegedly said. This is alleged. I don't know if this is 100% true, but Jokic's brother allegedly told Booker in Serbian, "Come here so I can beep your mother."
Beep meaning fuck.
Yeah,
he definitely didn't know Serbian because he didn't say that shit.
He sounded like he was like literally, "You kill him or I kill him." He's like,
Jokic didn't blink during that. Jokic was not scared. When you have your Serbian mafia brothers in the crowd, doesn't matter.
Bro, Jokic looked like the scariest one. Did you see his face? He's like,
yeah.
You look at Nikola. you look at Jokic all year, right? Running up and down the field, bumping into people, running into people. Just playing hard ball, damn near all the minutes of the game. This MVP of the league of ours has been running up and down the court all game.
That last comment back up.
He said hi in Serbian. Hi. But anyway,
all right.
So this is what happened, bro. Jokic has been running up and down the field all game, right? Trying to earn that MVP. He finally gets his MVP. The refs see this as an opportunity to get Jokic out the game with one little swipe.
Yeah.
One little swing.
Boom! Rage controversy
For that big ass arm, that is just a flop. For that
So
big
this
ass
was
arm,
the
he
play.
Go for
This
the
was-
ball. But if you look at
if
other
I'm Jokic
plays
right
all
now,
year-
this was the
Guys
play.
down,
Let me
boy.
just show you guys, please. This was the
Down.
play. I'm Jokic. Rebound over on this side. It tips the ball over there. The dude is running for the ball. Jokic is nowhere near the ball. He's all
nowhere near the ball. He was
Like, what
within.
is he
He was
doing?
within 4 or 5 feet of the ball. He was close.
You look like the
he
Suns
took-
fan, Eric.
he literally took a fat 3 like running steps to go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
you
he
look like
wasn't
the
aiming
Suns
for his
fan, man.
face. What he was aiming to do is the same thing that Paul Millsap
Okay.
did when the Nuggets were down 3-1 against the Clippers last year.
All
He
right,
was
let's
trying to
take a
start a
vote.
fire.
Let's take a vote. Should Jokic been ejected or not? And let's move on.
Look at this motherfucker in the chat. Here we go.
Let's
Here we
go.
go.
Hello.
Here we go.
Hello.
Ain't act like he got knocked out. Maybe it's because he almost got his nose ripped off.
All right.
Drop that
You know,
there,
next
man.
time we see Payne, he's going to be in one of those face guards, the nose thing.
He should. Like
All right,
Mask
We're not
Kobe.
going to see it, though. We're
Let's
not
wrap
going
it
to
up. Go to the next one. Let's take a vote. Should he have been ejected? I'll start. I say nay.
No.
Nay.
Yes.
2-1.
That's truly my honest opinion. I don't think he hit him hard. I'm really over exaggerating that. He really didn't hit him. Like, if anything, when I seen the replay, I was like, oh, he missed. Like, he swiped it. And then the closer and closer you look, he did like skim his nose, whatever. But my whole thing is this is why I've been saying he should have been ejected. Because what the hell are you doing?
No,
Like, I
I
just
get
don't get it. I just don't understand it.
But here's the thing.
Really
This is
didn't
a
look that
topic
well.
that we're never going to get the end of. Matt Faraci says nay. He wanted the ball, bro.
Exactly.
Big Blue Jay, no.
Nay.
Devin
nay.
Murray, hell
Not
no.
been ejected.
Who needs
Eric
to know?
Payne on the 6'7" Serbian basketball beast.
I voted for Jokic for MVP. I'm just saying I don't discriminate against MVPs or Kings or I don't care. I don't care if your name's LeBron
Yeah.
or Nikola.
Yes. Yo, Jello, I just said that. Pull Jello's last comment up. Stephen A. Smith was talking about it, and Jello even just told me Stephen A. Smith hates the Nuggets and even said it was bullshit.
Man, who's Stephen A?
You know who Stephen A. is.
They saying Stephen A and Max too sharp to get skipped, and you can't dispute that. This a don't pull it back. Don't make
All
me
right, moving
start.
on. We're gonna go ahead and move on.
Okay.
Wow. Breaking news. Atlanta comes back from a 24-point deficit. They are up 4. Trae Young's at the line with 8.4 seconds left. I had money on them plus 7. So
Does this go
I
to game
just hit.
7? Is this game 7?
No, this is game 4.
Oh,
Or this is game 5. This is game 5.
Around.
This is 5. This is 5.
You know, Atlanta up 24 and then blows a deficit. Shout out Super Bowl 2019. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, true.
The Patriots are down 27-28. It is crazy.
That's game. Trae Young and Atlanta wins 109-106.
So
is
is
it
on to game
3-2?
5-2-2?
That was game 5. It's 3-2 Atlanta right now.
Woo! Come on,
Yep.
Trey.
Ice
Yeah.
trade again. Ice trade again. Hey, ice trade
And that's
again.
good for me because I have a parlay tonight, and now I just need the Nets to win.
All right, Tony, what else you got for us here?
All right, the last thing I got for us is the NBA is exploring a new jump shot rule. That rule just says competition committee met to further explore rule changes to restrict unnatural motions on jump shot to draw fouls. That is a quote from Woj.
Man, as John Morant would say, this league's soft.
No, I completely agree with the jump shot rule. I don't think you should be able to throw up the ball and throw your shoulders around and draw contact and get a foul. If you get hit while you're shooting, then it's a foul. But you shouldn't be able to draw contact in the air by throwing your leg and your arms around.
I feel like the NBA is kind of doing what the NFL did 5 to 6 years ago, and they're literally going to make the game soft.
How? This is a rule that was just implemented. I think I wish we had a stat guy right now.
No, but
I
that's
think
what
5 to 6
I'm
years
trying
ago.
to get at is like when we were 10 and we were playing football and watching football, quarterbacks were getting killed. Like it was able to kill the quarterback. Now, all the rule changes throughout the years. You can't touch quarterbacks here. You can't do this. You can't do that.
I think you're misunderstanding. I think you're misunderstanding. This is for offensive players who are shooting the ball so they don't flail their arms and draw contact 3 feet away from them.
So if they do that, then It doesn't
They're
even
not
not
gonna,
a foul no
they're
more.
not going to whistle it. There's not going to be no whistle.
I like them whistling that though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is I think that makes it fun. When dudes fake like they shoot and then bump into you and like it wasn't even a foul, but they did it because
you just said that you didn't like. I'm done talking about this. Let's move on to the NFL.
The league gonna be soft, bro.
I don't shit about no jump shots.
That rule, see, even Jason, I agree, but that rule is dumb. That rule is dumb.
No, he's agreeing with me, Doc.
I agree. That rule is so dumb. The rule that you just said was interplated.
No, they're removing that rule. The one that you like, so they blow whistles, they're removing the rule. He's saying that rule is dumb.
That's no rule. That's a fucking foul.
No, it's not. It shouldn't be a foul. No, right there, that's not a foul. Look, Justin left. Justin's gone.
Justin doesn't even understand how to dribble a basketball, man. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop talking. Yeah, I guess he does agree with you. No, I agree with Tony. I might be, tripping. I think it's a good addition. Maybe I'm the skip today. Whatever. Don't care. You guys can have it.
Dribble no basketball, boy.
Whatever. I'm out of here. We don't really have time for the NFL stuff, so we'll add that on the Rick T podcast. Speaking of the Rick T podcast, that is happening on Saturday night. And not Sunday morning this week because of Father's Day. So if you want to watch the Rick T podcast episode, what is it, Justin?
Episode
9. Episode 9. It will be on Saturday night. Don't know the time yet, but just keep updated on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok now. If you want to keep updated with all of our Rick T podcast, Talk Your Talk stuff. Big news coming soon to the Rick T podcast team. We're not going to break it yet. Just want to let you guys know we're up to something. We're up to something big here.
Up to something. Hey, I just want to give one quick big shout out to like the fan controlled football community that came in and said what's up whenever we had Patrick, the man, Dees on. It was a long time coming trying to get him on. He's a serial entrepreneur, as he said. He works very hard. He's got a mastermind, and I'm really feel privileged that we at the Rick T podcast and team all got a privilege to talk to him and pick his brain and see what's coming up for the fan controlled football league.
Dude, and he broke some stuff I didn't think was going to be talked about. I had no clue.
I didn't even get to say some stuff that I wanted to say, so we're definitely going to have to make it come back. That could happen.
Tony's seeing this and laughing because Tony knows I have one of the wettest jump shots out there, bro.
Sure. Okay, guy. That's it. Yeah.
No, this could happen. This actually is something that could happen almost like the 40-yard dash or something.
This can happen.
I'm down for that. I'll come down.
I'll meet you at a rim where you can touch.
1v1. Hey, I play basketball Thursday, man.
I'll come ref that shit. I'll show up in the stripes and everything.
Matt, is there any way you can film it? Is there any way you can get us like an MLV creative video of me, me and Justin, or me dunking? I'll put you on a poster, baby. Don't.
What, a 7-foot hoop?
Are we playing? Yeah, we're playing a 4-foot hoop.
It don't matter. He said, I gotcha.
Hey, we ain't playing on Oakley's hoop. All right, we playing on some regulation.
No Little Tykes hoop.
But that could happen. I'm with it, Eric, if you're willing.
Justin, I ran the 40 in 4.8 seconds. Don't ask me if I would play basketball with you. I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete, baby. I do this.
5'2", bro.
No.
Was it a 5'2"? Because I was betting it was a 5'3" before I took my leave.
This is what happened. I ran it the first time.
No. Hang on. No. Justin, you tell me the story.
I have the video.
Yeah, the video shows that Jalen, the timer, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. We'll edit that out, even though we're live. Somebody messed up the timer on the first one, and this boy ran like a 4.3. So then we were like, oh, hell no.
Jay messed it up. They started late.
2 more times, and they were consistent, a good 5.2.
The second one was 4.8.
I said 5'3".
Okay, no, it was 4.8.
I said 5'3" before I took my leave.
Look at this.
That's
4.9, 4.8.
Okay, Jalen,
laughing faces. That's not him agreeing with you.
Eric really ran a 5.9. No, Matt, you're wrong. You don't know.
No, go back to the laughing faces one. Let's talk about that one. He's making fun of you. He's not agreeing with you.
4.8.
We played with Devin. Devin understands that Devin learned everything he knows about the game of football from me.
Come on. You know Murray was on. Come on now.
I learned everything about playing receiver from Eric. Kiss my ass, both of you.
Oh, shit.
All right,
everyone was like, Jaren Donaldson's your prodigy. I said, just because he has freckles doesn't mean he's good. No. Devin is my prodigy. Devin's going to be my thing.
Hey, Devin's a beast. Right, so, I really enjoy hanging out with him. We got to link up soon.
Definitely, bro.
I
Definitely
want to
appreciate you.
say one thing. This Clippers-Utah game is about to be wild.
Thank
Clippers
you.
or Utah's up by 3. Just started. So if you are tuning in right now, go ahead and tune on over to that.
Tune into the Clippers Jazz game. No Kawhi, so it will be interesting. But that was the Talk Your Talk Show, episode 13. Thank you for joining me, Tony Cave. Justin Sanchez had a great interview with Patrick Dees, but we are out of here until Saturday night. Man, Talk Your Talk Show, episode 13. I'm Eric, along with Tony and Justin. We out of here. Peace.
Gotta start rapping right now. Anybody still?
Up in the air, it's on the ground, still in Clemson's hands, and now it is down. It is over, and the Irish have knocked off #1 Clemson.
But anyhow, the celebration is on here in South Bend.
Notre Dame has defeated Clemson.